I'm Sir Flowbojan Thunderhammer.
And I'm Teflon Frosthammer.
And I'm Cabbage Tidehammer.
And this
is
WAK.
If Amtgard knighthood means anything, you can't knife a motherfucker and keep it.
And the thing that people need to understand essentially about arts and sciences events is that your scores don't matter.
Do you want a black phoenix or a white phoenix?
Jeez, language, man. We're on
right.
a freaking podcast, for fuck's sake.
Mind-blowing experience, right?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to WAK, where we discuss topics important to the Amtgard community at large and talk with interesting people from around the foam fighting world. This week, we have from Dragonspine, Xander the Reaper, also known as Dom. Dom, thank you so much for joining.
How's it going, guys? Great to be here.
It's going okay. Gonna start off with an oldie but goodie. How did you get into foam fighting?
My friend, way back in high school, 2001 or 2000, somewhere around there. He saw it one time when he was traveling to visit his dad, and he brought it back and was like, "Hey, there's this game, and we get to hit each other with foam sticks, and we don't get hurt all that much." And I was like, "Cool, that sounds awesome." And it just went from there. It was a small little park of 5 of us in Lordsburg, middle of nowhere of New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dragonspine picked us up, and from there, the Silver City, which is like 45 minutes away, the bigger park, sucked us into theirs, and we just started going to their park. So our park died. Our park was only alive for maybe like 2 weeks.
Oh wow!
And then we got sucked into a different park, and met a bunch of old friends, and new friends, and decade-old friends. So it was pretty good.
So roughly, how long ago was this?
This is around either the end of 2000 or the middle of 2001.
Oh wow! Okay, so that would have been what, V6 or V7?
V6.
V6, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's around when I got into.
Okay. So what were you, like, class-wise, what were you playing back then?
I was playing a warrior.
Ah,
I
okay.
was running around with a sword and board, and then one of my buddies gave me 2 long swords, and I started playing 2 long swords instead, and just ran from there.
Good.
two huge long swords, and then it went to a Zombo. So big old monster sword to have all the fun.
Hell yeah.
So you've been in the game for a while. I want to get into some things about Dragonspine specifically later. This is part of our Tour of the Kingdoms, but what are some things that in Dragonspine that have changed over the years for the better? What are some things that you think have really been, I mean, short the pandemic when a lot of places were shut down, that you think's been going really well?
More inclusive. Back in the day, it wasn't really 50-50, depending on who you were, but it was kind of inclusive, like high school cliques kind of. And then it went from high school cliques to like everyone's involved. We got all the dicky shenanigan players out, and now we all have kept all the cool players. So it just kept snowballing to the right way.
We hear it over and over again, kind of the same story that Lucas and I and Jeff have all told stories before of the Amtgard of yesteryears and some of the crazy stuff that would happen. I'm glad to hear that that's a reoccurring theme in every kingdom that we talk to and that we get to visit, is that's been moving in a very positive direction for quite some time.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You started pointing your thumb at me when he said dicky players, and I was like, what the fuck, man? Like,
that was just a slip.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks. That feels good.
I mean, if my friends are right next to me, they'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah. This guy over here.
Look at this fucking guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you've been in the game for a while, and this is actually a rare thing for us because your Amped Wiki, from what we could tell, is non-existent. I recommend that all of Dom's friends go and build an Amped Wiki as soon as this is over.
It'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a centaur picture of me in there.
Be creative.
It's great.
Okay, I want to touch back on the centaur thing in just a second.
I'll tell you a great story about that. That's a funny one.
Are you? But it meant that we didn't get to do any research before the show started. So, are you belted under someone?
No. First to my name, apparently.
Oh wow!
But yeah, I wasn't belted under anybody, and I didn't want to be belted under anybody.
Smart move.
It's just just want to be by myself and do my own thing.
Ouch, my feelings. No, that's cool. My Knight's night was the same way. Stinkfoot's night was he didn't want to be belted underneath anybody. He didn't want anybody looking over his shoulder in that way. He just wanted to do his own thing, and if he got belted for it, great. And if he didn't, great. He didn't care. So.
Yeah, that's the same way I am. It's like I got qualified for the belt, and right before I got qualified, I was 2 tournaments away, and everyone was like, "Why don't you knight him? Why don't you knight him?" And I was like, "Look, he hasn't done it yet." And I was the same way. I was like, I haven't been there, and also I just don't care. Like I'm going to get a belt and nothing's going to change. I'm going to just do the same things that I've been doing forever.
Yeah.
I'll help people, teach people, play the game, have fun. And
do you have a belt now?
yes, I'm Knight of the Sword.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Again, we didn't have an Amped Wiki to look up, so
It's all right.
Well, so talk to me a little bit about how you got started on that path, right? Because Sword is widely considered a very difficult belt to achieve. Obviously, it requires a lot of physical prowess. But what got you started in that direction? What made you say, like, I want to be a Sword Knight, or this is something I think I can get?
Well, it wasn't. It kind of happened. I got the awards, and I started going on the path. And then I wasn't actually like trying to get any awards, like win tournaments and stuff. I'm just in the tournament fighting my friends and fighting people better than me because I wanted to get better as a fighter.
Right.
So it kind of got to the point where I was around my 6th or 7th and my 7th. And I had already turned it, my 7th down like 3 times because I didn't think the tournament I was in was hard enough.
Oh wow!
But it wasn't because of like being a knight. It's like I just didn't think that I'd won the tournament, but I didn't think I was fighting against anybody hard or like at my level. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it was more of like I'm on the path. I'm doing all the things like a knight would do. You know, being cordial, not being a dick to anybody, teaching people how to play the game. Fighting battle games, sitting in an office, and all the things that you do, whatever. But I was just on the path and wasn't trying. And then after, I don't remember what it was. It was before my 6th or something like that. Well, one of my buddies had told me, is like, if you would just do it, actually try and go, you can get it. It's like, you should do it because you're good enough to do it. Just go. And it was one of our other knights, Kyle Elmarin. Well, its name's not Elmarin now, but it doesn't matter. One of our other sword knights. And he's just saying, it's like, just go do it. I was like, if you just go and try, you'd get it. And I was like, I just like fighting. I'm not trying to get that warlord or whatever. I'm just going. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm already here. I'm just going to fight and go and get it. And then I got my warlord, and then not a few months later, like 4 months later or something like that, to our next, actually our first in person after COVID. They knighted me, and then we closed again. Just like why? Like it opened and then we closed it. I was like, oh wow, that's
man, you brought the whole kingdom down.
You're Indiana Jones sliding under the gate, grabbing your belt on the way.
Grabbing my belt and out. Yeah. So, but it was at one of our events that we had that we didn't think that we were going to have, and a lot of people went. It was great. It was Maze.
Oh yeah,
we've heard
Maze
so
Las
much about
Cruces.
this event. This is awesome.
It's a great event. Super fun. and never not have fun there.
You are not the first person from Dragonspine either that has said that the going to become a sword knight wasn't their original intent. They were just going out to have fun and fight with their friends, and they reached a certain point where they were like, oh, I have a lot of awards in this thing. I'm getting really close.
Well, we all have that friend who's like 7 or 8 orders in, and it's like, dude, if you would just try, you could get this thing. Yeah. Subway.
Yeah.
Excuse
But
me.
it's good for... I love hearing... Because I think that the story that we hear a whole lot about the sword path is that you have to quit your job and move to another state and fight with Spin for 8 years and do all of this other stuff.
Or if you're Tato, it's when I was born.
Yeah. But
he was born with a sword in his hand and creatine in his pocket.
Yep.
Did you know that is the Greek god that Tato follows is creatine? But yeah, no, I like hearing the other side of it where it's, no, man, I was just having fun, and I looked around at one point and said, I'm really close to this thing, and I want to be better at it, and I pushed that last little bit and got it.
Yeah, like up until just a few minutes ago, like I would have said as a joke, like, can you imagine enjoying your way all the way to a sword belt? And we would have laughed, but like it's cool that you can actually do that and still achieve that. That's actually cool.
Yeah, and I was fighting against all my friends, essentially. It was like Isaac, Eric, Kyle, Sane,
Nice.
Charles.
Yeah.
So we were all in the same place, and every time we had a tournament, we're just fight against each other.
Yeah.
So
Isaac was
constant
the
fight
one
against
that,
everybody.
Isaac was the one that told us that. For those at home, Anatole is the one that we're talking
Anatole,
about.
yeah.
So are you a wheel?
No,
Or are they just,
no.
you're just buddies with it?
I'm just buddies with them. They tried to get me a wheel a couple of times. Yeah.
Did they really?
No, they had tried to get me a wheel a couple of times. I was like, no. I was like, if you guys ever need help on the field, call me. I'll come fight with you, but I don't need a
Yeah. So you said something earlier where you had turned down your 7th a couple of times, because you personally didn't believe it was a big enough challenge to warrant the award or whatever. How difficult is that needle to thread? Because there's a lot of ways people could take that wrong, like, oh, well, you guys just weren't worth my time or whatever. Did people generally take it okay, or was there some like pushback on turning down that 7th?
No. What happened was it was clan.
Okay.
There were clan tournaments, 6 and unders. So it was I had won 6 and under 2 or 3 times in a row here, and what would happen is, like, how you get invited into the next tournament to go and get if you can get another win or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Those next 2 or whatever, the first 2. Everyone was too drunk to do the tournament the next day. So
Yeah, you said it
I
was
was
planned.
like, yeah, so it makes sense, right? And then the 3rd time, I think we got rained out, and we couldn't do that tournament.
Gotcha.
Something like that happened, but I didn't want that. I had qualified for it, but I had fought the same people in those tournaments, and it wasn't any different. Like there was, I not to be insulting, but like I didn't change it. How, like, if you're like trying to like something's hard, you change a game plan.
Yeah.
For each. I didn't change my game plan for any of those. A lot of the fights, it was the same thought process all the way throughout. And it's not that they weren't good fighters. It was just I was at a higher level, and nobody was completely at that level. I think the only one, the last 2 times was Tisco. Tisco was like the only guy that I was like sitting there actually having to think and fight
Right.
competitively.
Yeah.
And that's a long time ago. That was when Tisco was under 6 or under like that. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. So you didn't feel like that there was a sufficient bump in the skill that you needed to beat these people.
A sufficient test of skill. Yeah.
That makes sense.
And it's nothing against all the other fighters. It's just what I thought was like I should be fighting somebody a little bit harder, or more people a little bit harder than it just essentially just being like me and Tisco fighting each other, and the other ones I wasn't really thinking.
No, it's a really interesting perspective because we kind of hear it from both ends where it's either I'm told I need to be fighting better people, is usually what we'll hear, right? Like, oh, I didn't get my award at that tournament because the people decided that the challenge wasn't there. But to see it from the other perspective where you enforce that on yourself is actually really, really cool. And this goes back to something I think Golan had said a while ago, where you kind of decide for yourself what the challenge is. And then that determines the worth to you personally, which I really like.
Yeah, you got to set your own goals and then keep yourself to them.
And that's what keeps you going through in the game too. Just finding something that's fun and doing it. Goal, a bar that you put yourself at, and you're trying to get to that bar, even though everyone else says you're fine.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, we're at a lot of bars usually.
I love bars.
Different bars.
I love bars.
So what is the? I mean, I guess with aw.
Saying hi. Say hi.
Buddy.
Hi. Say hi, Cole.
Hi.
It's a ball.
I got an 8-year-old at home. I get how it goes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know COVID restrictions kind of put a damper on things, but what's the bar that you set for yourself now? Now that you've gotten the belt, what's next?
Well, I do teach a lot of people at my park.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one goal, is I'm trying to make everybody better at my park. And 2 is getting, right after I think like two or 3 months after I got knighted, I messed up my right arm, which is what the one I heavily fight with. I messed up my elbow. I don't know what I did. I still don't know. I haven't checked it. Great amp guard.
Boy, elbows have been going around for a minute now.
I've been fighting lefty instead. So now that's a goal of mine, is to make my lefty fighting as good as my right, and let my right arm heal completely, whatever it's doing.
Me trying to fight lefty is just basically committing to hurting my friends for the day. It's not good.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
Yeah, because you get to kill
you
me.
fighting lefty.
So wait, hold on. We completely sped over the centaur thing, and I realized that we're getting kind of away from it.
Oh, that's a great
Sorry.
fun one. Yeah.
Double back to that for me. What's the centaur thing? Explain that.
So I wish I had a picture that you guys could actually see. But
if you find it and send it to us, I'll put it up in the video as you're
for
talking.
sure. Yeah,
If you
I'll
don't find it,
I'll
we will find
it
a
today.
centaur picture to put up in
Okay.
the video. So,
I believe it's still on my Facebook, so I probably find it
cool.
way down there somewhere.
Awesome.
But it was one of the clans, and I was fighting all day. From sun up to sundown, I was fighting. I drink at night, wake up 8 in the morning, start fighting again.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly fighting. So I was, I think it was Friday. I was coming back from the field, and I had my shield in my hand. At that time, I had really long hair, went around like down to my middle of my shoulder blades, a little bit past, curly long hair. Shirt off, jeans, and I'm walking up the hill. My buddy takes a picture. I was like, "What are you doing?" He says, "You look majestic as fuck, guy." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then we sit there, we start drinking, and I was drinking white rum because I was fighting somebody, and the guy had cored me a couple times in my leg on purpose. And the last time that he did it, I took the leg and then beat him. But when I took the leg, I kneeled on a rock.
Ooh.
And I went up, and when I was going up, it was because I was going up to get my my elixir of life, which was my big bottle of rum, to drink a bunch of it so I could go back down and fight again. So I started drinking it, and then I was about to go back down, and then we started bullshitting and whatever. And then one of my other friends, Jaime, who had passed away, he's like, "You looked, as you walked up there, you looked like you just like some sort of horse." And then somebody's like, centaur. He looks just like a centaur. Somebody, and then my friend Lindsay, who was there, he's like, that has to be a thing. Somebody, take this picture and go make him a centaur. Go engage.
Engage.
His girlfriend she had her phone or whatever, and she sat there with moved the picture from her phone to her computer at sight and changed my gave me a centaur body or a horse body and then my waist up with my shield and everything. Has the right. So there's big picture of me with horse slinging, as they would say, in this picture. And it's hilarious. It's hilarious. That picture is fantastic.
I don't think I've ever been to an Amp Guard event where somebody has like a Photoshop capable computer on deck ready to go. Right. But it should be.
She was not an actual Amp Guard. She was taking photos of everybody, and he had taken a photo with her camera because they were sitting there. And he was looking at it. He's off click, and then she goes and is like, after all that conversation, she's all, hold on, magic in the corner, and then puts together, because she was just taking pictures and edited them together, because she wasn't a fighter, she wasn't real like any part of the Amp Guard. She was just there to hang out.
That's awesome.
That's so good.
I actually like seeing more photographers at Amped Guard events. Like we've had quite a few, and it's like, oh, you can capture those really cool moments now. Where before it's like somebody's got a grainy cell phone picture from their cabin because they didn't want to come out or whatever.
A flip phone from like 40 miles away.
Dog, oh my God.
There's so many of those pictures.
At this Winter's Edge just had a mid-rain coronation. Yeah. I was a Monarch once. I forget what the events are. Winter's Edge just had an event like at the beginning of this month. And somebody walks up to me and says, hey, my dog did this really cute thing. Do you want to see a video? And I said, yeah, sure. And I'm going to call him out. Avi pulls out a flip phone. In the year 2022, pulls out a flip phone. And I just about broke. Like, I think the entire feast hall heard me go, motherfucker, you got a flip phone? Like, what are you doing? And he just, bloop, and then, T9 navigates to the video of his dog. I'm like, what's happening? What year is it? Help. Killed me, dude.
It was honestly fantastic.
It was a good video. I just didn't expect him to whip out a flip phone.
Did you look at it on the match side or the stamp size screen?
Yeah, I did. I mean, it's fine. So it's just confused me.
Have you been in Dragonspine? Yeah. Have you been in Dragonspine the whole time, like ever since 2000 or so?
No. So I was in Silver City until 2008, 9.
Okay.
And then in 10 on, between 8 and 10, it was back and forth between Silver and Crucis, and then 10 I moved to Crucis and moved all my credits here.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I've been here ever since.
Part of what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to help people get to know Dragonspine, right? So when you say Silver City, is this a park that you were at?
It's a park. That park is Cloud's Edge.
Okay.
Is what that park is called.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's also a little town. It's just slightly bigger than Lordsburg.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
They have a makeshift airport. That's what makes them bigger.
And then Crucis is that Dragonspine
and
proper or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dragonspine proper, Las Cruces, Mexico, right next to the border by El Paso.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. For any
like 45 minutes away from El Paso.
Oh.
For any of our younger listeners here, this may sound confusing because especially if you're from any of the East Coast kingdoms, we generally don't have parks named after our kingdoms. Back in the day, though, it was really common to have a park that was Dragonspine that became the Kingdom of Dragonspine. That's why I wanted to clarify here is Dom was actually referring to a physical location that is the Park of Dragonspine and another park that he used to play at. And I wanted to make sure everybody's following there.
Yeah, there's this sort of floating crown thing that's relatively new, but we're probably all just used to it at this point.
Yeah, it's the same as Burning Lands. Burning Lands, their park is Burning Lands, and their kingdom is also Burning Lands.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then, it's the same thing.
Isn't Burning Lands like I don't know how big Burning Lands is anymore, but isn't it just the one park that is still just Burning Lands?
I think
they have
a couple. Okay.
6 parks.
Okay, that's fair. I
believe they have 6 parks. They have 6 parks, and their park days are about 15 to 20, something like that.
Okay.
So, you've been in the game for quite some time now.
20 years.
Yeah, you and I have been in for a similar amount of time. In Dragonspine specifically, what are some fun things that have come out of the 20 or so years? Like, we'll talk about Maze Maze here in a little bit. We've had a couple of other people hype Maze Maze up, and I really, really want to go now. But
it's super fun.
Local park stuff, what's a day in a Dragonspine like?
Well, it used to be back in the day, 2000 to 2000 to 18, we had about 20 to 30 strong players.
Wow, yeah.
We had a lot of big park days. We'd play about 2 to 3 battle games a day, winners losers for the whole day if you really wanted to. Somebody was always there to fight. About now, we run about 12 to 15 average.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the same bros come out. We play winners losers all day, and we'll do a battle game. If it's an event for hosting or something like that, we'll have a whole bunch more players, usually about like 30 to 40. Play a couple battle games. If it's a tournament day, we'll do tournament and maybe a battle game. We'll see. Sometimes tournaments run long.
I was going to say sometimes a tournament eats up the whole day.
Yeah. No, we usually all we do is we kind of kick back because we don't have it's essentially like once we did the floating crown, we didn't have to like actually care about a lot of things. So now we can just we just relax and play our game, have fun, playing winners losers all day.
Are you a big battle game guy?
I do. I love battle games. My favorite class is monk. And my second favorite class is probably Assassin, then Barbarian.
Gotcha.
So Warrior fell by the wayside at some point.
Right.
I'm sorry for your first class. I don't know about the second, and good job on the third.
Monk is fine. Kinda.
It's all right.
They're putting through some... this is going to date this video, but they're putting through the Barbarian changes right now. They're doing a vote with the V9.
Your mic cut out there, friend.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you died there for a second.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, they're doing a vote for the V9 stuff right now with Barbarian.
I'm going to go ahead and send you that Patreon money for a new cable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the stand, I think.
Shit.
Not the
Okay.
cable. But yeah, the do you guys have a pretty big battle game scene in Dragonspine? Do you do any what's the small battle, the 5
Phoenix League?
Yeah,
or
do you do
something
any
like that?
Phoenix League or anything like that?
No. Pegasus Valley, which is our other park, one of our bigger parks.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do Phoenix League. Excuse me. We'll do Phoenix League, but a lot of our players don't like Phoenix League. We usually like if we have enough people, we'll play jugging.
Yeah.
We'll jug, right? Lots of fun. Love jugging, and then we'll usually make up our own games. Like we played Amtgard Soccer one time. That was fun and
That's
ridiculous. Really cool. I want to say it's Amtgard Baseball, but essentially we just played baseball. We didn't. At one point, we just threw our swords away. We just played baseball.
Hey, if it's fun, it's fun.
Right? Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, we're together. We're doing stuff. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So what is why don't they like Phoenix League as much? I'm kind of curious about this because like Phoenix League is often touted as the alternative to jugging because jugging is too competitive or there's a million reasons why people don't like jugging, but like Phoenix League is always touted as the alternative. So what's up there?
A few of them don't like it because the first time they played it, it was played terribly. A couple don't like it because of the way I think some of the rules for it is. I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head what the rule that they don't like from some.
Yeah, it's fair.
Me, I'll play it. I don't care. I'll play either one. I'm game for both.
Yeah.
But I think it's just that and World's going away like jugging.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially what it is.
I'm happy to hear that a kingdom is still pretty strong in jugging because we've seen a death of it in a whole lot of Amtgard.
Oh yeah.
It's a shame. Like it's too competitive. People get to. It feels good to win when it's too competitive. Come on.
I do think that jugging can get too competitive. I've
Wrong.
seen too many fistfights and stuff break out.
Completely.
But I'll say that the reason that I started leaning less towards jugging is because of the number of people. Like if you're playing with an alternate, you've got up to 12 people on the field. With one being your coach, your alternate, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's if you're at a really big park, unless you're rotating people out fairly quickly or something, then you have a portion of the population that's just kind of sitting around not doing anything for a while.
Not doing anything. Shit talking is doing something.
That's a good point.
Messing with the stone counter is doing something.
No. But have
Start counting backwards. See how they like it.
Just pick a random stone and try to start them from there. Who cares?
Yeah. See if they go with you.
Do you guys run into that at all? Do you run into have you lost any people because the jugging was more popular, or do people just find things to do? Are they doing ones or best ofs over on the side or something like that?
Yeah, we'll find things to do. So if people are playing, either they'll be sitting on the side and working as line judges, or they'll be doing the stones. Sometimes we just have enough players to play. Sometimes people are on the side, winners losers at the picnic table. They'll be playing games. We haven't played a long time, but we used to play Magic, Drum Dice, which is a game we made up.
Kodiak told us about Drum Dice.
Yeah, Drum Dice was fun. We need to start playing that again. That's hilarious.
So really important question, because I was really, really, really big into jugging for a very long time, and I want to see if you're playing by the only set of correct rules that exist. We found out that the rules for jugging changed at some point, and we were not aware.
Regionally different.
Yeah. We'll call it that. You guys still have a quick circle?
Yeah.
Okay, they're playing right.
Yeah. We just saw a quick circle, and if we don't want to draw the quick circle, we'll just say, "Oh, right, 5 feet from the ball or from the skull."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. But usually we'll have a quick circle. If we're being really lazy, we'll just on your honor kind of figure it out.
We would take flour. We would buy a 5-pound bag of flour on the way out to the field, and then put flour all the way around it. Because we were at a park that wouldn't let you mark on the ground, so we couldn't use spray paint or something like that. Mm-hmm. And also we were really poor, just unimaginably poor at the time.
And if it gets too physical, then you scrape the doughy flour off your buddy's back and you make dumplings later. It's fine.
Nope.
No,
you don't do that.
Cowards.
Nope. I guess your friend can provide the butter.
Yeah.
Chewy.
No, what was it? There was something else where you couldn't I know we play it as you can't cross into the quick circle.
Yeah, unless
until touches
the skull is broken. The circle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the way you guys do it too?
Death circle until it was out.
Yeah, so you guys play the way that I feel is the most correct way as well.
Yeah, because some places it's as soon as you touch, go, and then...
And I played all the different ways too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've deemed your way correct. We're
we're on the same
done with it.
It's right. Next topic. Let's move on. We need to do a jugging day soon. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
If I speak it into existence, maybe then we'll make it happen.
Got it going. Look at that jugging back. Bring it back.
Winner's Edge challenges Dragonspine to a jugging.
Can we do that? Can we just do that on behalf of our king? Yeah, we do that.
I mean, the monarch is here, so. But yeah, but you rolling back here just a little bit. Battle game wise, you said you love monk, you love assassin, you love barbarian. You guys have this big event that you guys put on. Any of our listeners that have listened to the Kodiak episode have heard us talk about Maze before, but tell us your Maze. What is the event, and why should all of us be there right now?
Froze up. Let's say it again. You guys froze up for a second.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. What is Maze for you, and why should all of us be there right now?
What is Maze? Oh, Maze is a great time. Maze is a cornfield. I'll cut a drawing, some sort of drawing out in it. Sometimes this last year it was the United States. Oh, sure. And they cut all the states out for the maze. We'll get glow sticks. We'll fight at night for 2 days in the maze. Different games, castle battle, monster battles. Sometimes the games connect to each other. So our first 2 games of the night are resource. You get your resources for the final game of the night. Sometimes it's the end of our reign theme, so it's the final battle between two warring factions. A lot of times it's just shenanigans in a field, in a cornfield. So we'll just play infection and infection for 45 minutes in the dark with glowy sticks.
In a corn maze, that
And
sounds
foam.
terrifying and awesome.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
So when you say castle battle, do you guys actually construct a castle, or do you just take up part of the corn maze as the castle? Like we're holing up in Tennessee, and that's the castle.
Yeah, you can play with it. It's we'll have castle. Like one year we had a blow up castle.
Oh, interesting.
Another year we just cut an area out of the big area of the corn, and there was a tower in the middle just by randomness. That was our castle.
Oh wait, so you guys are allowed to actually cut into the corn maze yourself and make stuff?
Sometimes, yeah, and then it because it's the end of the season, so the next time that they're gonna hit it, they're taking it down for the season, so we can do whatever we want with it.
That's really cool.
Oh, holy shit!
That's a good plan. There's plenty of mazes
Right?
up here.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm getting hit with an ear of corn at some point. Like somebody's gonna huck one at me.
It'll happen. Yeah! It'll happen.
Hey,
Ear of corn.
Maple Farms here around Knoxville, Tennessee. I know that you listen to the podcast.
Yeah, okay, right.
Hook us up.
I was about to say, who's this a call to?
So,
No one.
this brings up another question? Does Dragonspine have a castle? Because I know some of the older kingdoms had portable castles of some kind, or
We did. I built a castle one time for right.
which of course I knew, and this was a leading question. I didn't know.
No, it was for I think a Game of Thrones reign, and just like we should have a castle, and then we were all talking around the table after Amcard, just bullshitting, and I was like, you need to get a castle. And I was like, I can build a castle. I can build some walls and a door to make it look like a castle, a portable castle. Yeah. And I did. And it was great for about like 2-3 years. And then I had just recently I took it apart. It stayed outside too long and got destroyed. So I need to make another one. That's on to-do list to make another one, a better one.
That's kind of common, I think, whenever castles get made like that.
Yeah, they get left out. They start delaminating. This is something that we've actually never talked about on the show, or at least not very much. So talk to us about what a castle battle is. For some of our younger Amp-Guarders that haven't seen an actual castle put
We are
together.
like 75 episodes, and how have we never had this conversation?
Getting hit in the head with arrows and polearms was some of my fun when I was young.
You're not
I have. Those are my favorite games. Are big castle battles.
Big castle battles are straight
when
up.
Clan had the metal framed.
I was there for
wooden
that
castle
one.
battle.
Yeah,
loving it. Not right now. I'm busy. We'll play with it, okay?
Oh, you've got time. If you need us to vamp for a second, we'll buy you the time.
It's all right, guys.
he listens to the episode. He knows.
It's all right.
No,
He wants me to build him a puzzle turtle.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, tell us a little bit about a castle battle from the perspective of some of these younger Amp-Guarders that have never seen it. What is a castle battle?
A castle battle is usually, it depends what kind of castle battle. Are you defending castle, an invasion? Are you fighting over the castle, or two different factions on either side fighting over the castle? Are you trying to get something from the castle and in and out? So it depends. Also, it's usually like 40 people fighting, 20 on 20. The most fun, I think, are the castle defense. So there's a bunch of people in the castle and a bunch of people outside the castle, and you're trying to break into the castle and take over the castle as fast as you can. So it's lots of arrows, lots of poles. If it's really fun, the door's barricade and you can break it with a big log.
Yeah.
Anarchy once you do get in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those first like 10 seconds when you first get in, or if you're in there, you jump over the fence by yourself or the wall by yourself, trying to murder a couple bros. That's a lot of fun too.
I remember one of the castles. Castles can also be made of different things. You covered this a little bit when you were first talking, but we've had someone here in our kingdom, Sir Pudding, made a wooden castle that actually had a second deck above the door so that people could fire down. There's the inflatable castles. So don't picture bounce house, but like the wall itself is inflatable.
Walls,
I would like to make a spirited defense of bounce house.
I'm not.
It sounds fun as hell. Come on.
We're not going to do this.
If it's got the slide at the top and you got it, come on, man.
Yeah,
It sounds great, but there's gonna be a dude like me who wants to just jump off the top and land on somebody.
Thank you.
Yeah,
telling you
will
what,
not take you to the hospital.
You're not unselling me on this.
Listen,
Damn it.
you just run the wrestling ring.
I tried. I tried.
Thank
I didn't
you.
know
At least someone wanted to try. Okay.
Other types of castles that I've seen. Beefy here in Winter's Edge made one out of. I think that it's
PVC.
It is. It's like 6-inch diameter PVC.
It's not even that.
Is it less than that?
Oh yeah, it's like an inch at the most.
Oh no, dude, some of those are pretty big.
That's just the I don't know. They're not. You just don't remember it.
An inch is a lot, you guys.
and it's like bed sheets.
Yeah, he used bed sheets to cover them.
Oh yeah,
and he actually touts it as one of the ways that your group or your kingdom could do this on the cheap, because all of the bed sheets, he would go to the Goodwills and places like that and wait for just gray or brown bed sheets to come in, and then would paint lines on them and make them look like a stone castle,
like a brick.
Yeah, absolutely.
We did that one year for we wanted to make a gauntlet for a big game, and it wasn't the castle. It was just we want to make a gauntlet, and each you would fight through the corridors, and once you get to the end of the corridor, you had to do. It was either questions. Let me see.
Have to solve the riddle.
You're almost there.
Nice.
What was I saying? At the end of the corridor, fighting whatever, you had to like ask questions or do a riddle to get to the next door, and we that's all it was. It was a bucket with some concrete in it, a piece of PVC going up, and then sheets going across to make the walls.
So this was,
and it's super fast and easy.
This was built like the one that was brought to Clan that one time. I think they called it the concrete asshole, because everyone who had to put it together turned into assholes. I really like that castle design. It was the concrete became unwieldy when you're talking about working with like 100 buckets to make it, but I could see for just a corridor or something it being really cool.
I can't right now, bud.
Well, I can't do it.
I'll help you in a little bit.
You can do it, bud. I believe in you.
I believe in you. Okay, Betty's busy right now, and I'll help you in a second, okay?
But I can't do it.
You can do it. Keep trying.
If you need a second, man, it's completely fine. We can cut and smash this back together. It's no big deal.
I'll get him in a second. He's just sitting there trying to put it together next to me.
I got you. Yeah.
What was I going to say?
Yeah. So
what's the other one is same concept. I don't remember who it was. I don't remember his name. I feel bad. But it was a battle game at a clan. And I helped put in like 40 T-posts to make a bunch of walls with plastic as the walls.
Mm-hmm.
We wrapped plastic around it and duct taped it. That was rough.
Was this the labyrinth one?
I believe so.
That
where it was just T-posts and
I think that was
and plastic bags or plastic sheeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of our players wanted to do something very similar for around the park, local stuff, and it kind of can be done. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes
it's
I
just
feel like
the setup.
Yeah. Sometimes
the setup of the breakdown was rough. The game was fun. I played in the game. It was just the setup and breakdown was real rough.
So if any of you younger Amp-Guarders, and I'm defining younger as under 10 years in the game, I guess, at this point, because we don't do a lot of castle battles as a game anymore. But if any of you listen to this episode and go, oh man, I really like what Xander was saying there. I want to go out and start making a castle. I want you to keep 3 things in mind. This was trial and error that everyone sitting at this table learned, and I'm sure that Dom did too over time. First, the very first thing that you need to look at is logistics. How are you getting this out to the park, and how are you getting it home? Because if you're using concrete buckets, you're not putting 40 concrete buckets into your Prius.
It's not going to work.
If you're using PVC that stays together, like Beefy's is, how are you going to transport these 4x8 wall sections to the park? You're going to strap them to the top of your car. How are you going to get them there? If it's going to be a wooden castle, how are you getting them there? You know, these things are really, really fun. You got to think through the logistics on how you're going to do them. Second thing, materials. Wood's really expensive, and
now, really
expensive. As we heard too, it requires some pretty heavy maintenance over the years, and a good place to store it, or it's just going to get destroyed. PVC offers the benefit of being lighter and easier to carry around, but it's bulky. You need a lot of it, and
over time, UV light does actually
destroy
damage
it
the
as well.
plastic as well. Yeah, it makes it brittle.
Make it brittle, start to snap.
Yep.
But hold on, because I want to sell this to people who have never done something like this. Like playing Amtgard with the real physical constraint there, the castle, whether it's a real castle, wooden castle, PVC walls, whatever.
Hay bales, whatever.
Is amazing.
The real physical constraint makes
it's a great feeling.
Yeah, it makes it so different. Like we've all played the bridge battle where somebody puts down 2 ropes and says, "There's your bridge, don't fall off," and that's fun and it gives you something to work with. But when you have the thing to hide behind or the wall that you have to hook shot up over or something like that, it makes it a completely different game. Anytime something like that's involved, which I think is why Maze sounds so fun. You've got the actual, fucking corn maze there to guide you and move you around and have to manipulate.
Got the corn maze walls,
Yeah.
If I get hungry, I can also just snack while I'm out there.
I mean,
Jeff's talked about this a couple times with his walls. He didn't make castles, but he has walls that you could probably make into a castle.
We made the giant S that you used to make in high school. I feel like we could have made a castle with way less effort.
But yeah,
that's about right.
Yeah.
We've covered on the show before how terrain and different effects can help, but castles are just a different thing. And if you haven't done it, here's what I'm going to recommend to you: get some PVC. Look up on the Amtgard forums how to make PVC wall castles. You can just buy the 3/4 inch thick. You don't have to do anything fancy, and make a few simple ones. Just 4 feet high, 8 feet long. Make 4 of those, and then you have 2 for each sides to use, and see how that changes the dynamic of your battle games. It is so much fun.
There's a quick pro tip.
Yeah.
Get a rebar and smack it into the ground, and then put that PVC on there.
Yeah.
Those are quick and fun, or easy walls to throw up and easy to transport.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, that's what you did, Jeff.
Yeah, I went a little further and did I don't remember what they're called. They're the solid black, but they
vampire spikes.
Yeah,
that's what they are.
Oh yeah, the forms, form stakes.
Yes,
that's what it is.
That's what I have. And you have to use 1 inch with those. Rebar you can get away with it's cheaper, and you can get away with smaller diameter PVC that way as well.
Yep.
Yeah. But then you're basically limited to, do you have something on the top of your car that you can zip tie these to? Then you've got a much easier to transport system.
Yeah. Castle battles or battles involving walls or something like that have been some of the most fun that I have had in Amtgard, simply for the dynamic that they add.
Have we ever looked at finding a paintball facility to fight at? Because they have those big inflatable things that make the terrain. And honestly, that just dawned on me, that could be a really cool...
I don't know, has Dragonspine done anything with it, or...?
I think we tried one year, but it's the getting access to the field.
Yeah.
I think
the hard part. Getting access to the field is the hard part, right?
I think Polaris does their dungeon day at something similar to that. I think.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they do. They do. It's funny too because that the paintball courses are they're getting paintball shot at them all the time, and then they see us with foam swords and go, "Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't want the facility to get damaged. Come on, man.
We have a certain image we'd like to maintain.
So our friends are going to see you playing here, and then what?
Yeah, right.
God forbid they want to play.
Can you help me?
So let's do this. We're actually running right up on that hour mark where we like to, it's kind of the sweet spot for us. So this is typically the point in the show where we ask if you have a crazy or funny or heartwarming Amtgard story that you'd like to share with the folks at home that are listening, something that made Amtgard for you or anything like that you could share.
Oh,
it's tough question.
It's always
a
the
tough
toughest
question.
one,
There's
you
a lot.
know?
Because there's a lot.
There's a lot.
Usually. Yeah.
There's a lot of things. Yeah, it'd be a battle game. Hanging. I think I'll tell you one. It wasn't heartwarming. It's just hilarious.
That's
Perfect.
fine.
That's fine.
So for clan, odd, but at clan. The morning of I think a Wednesday or something like that. It was either not a Wednesday of a Friday. I think it was a Friday. The morning of a Friday, we had been drinking the day before, and my friend, our buddy Thedro, was walking back to his camper in the wee hours of the morning. Sun was coming up. Nice. No one saw, I promise.
Yeah.
He was going back to camp, and where we were at last time, there's like a cliff. Like if you're not paying attention, you walk off the wrong way, or walk off a cliff and land on a bunch of wood. So he does it. His friend falls off, gets out of it, all fucked up, still holding his beer. Great. Gets back to his camp. And his camp saw it apparently happen. I didn't see it happen. That's the story they told me, right? Later that night, no fucking shit, I'm going to their camp all fucked up. And I take that same turn and I fall right in the thing. Land there with my bottle. Guys, I did it. And I landed right on my shins onto the all the wood and stuff. Get out, go to the thing, and I was like, hey, where's Theodore? Oh, he's back over there at a DS camp. Son of a bitch, I was just there. Found him, and I was like, no shit. Guess what just happened? Because I think that clan, the reason I said no shit is because Axgar was there. And we were doing, no shit, there I was. And that came up, and we were both sitting right there. It was like, you fell off of that? It's like, I did that in the morning. I also did in the morning, but not the same time.
That's pretty cool. I haven't seen Axgar in forever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
I haven't seen Axgar in a long time. I think I've seen his son more recently than I've seen him.
Does his son play?
His son did play. I don't know if he still plays.
Is his name Hatchetgar?
God.
Knifegar.
Knifegar.
Perfect.
Right? Knifegar. No, I haven't seen his son for. I think that was the most recent that I saw his son, but not him. I haven't seen him for a while.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fantastic, man. Xander, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for hyping up Dragonspine for us.
Want to say hi?
Hey, buddy.
There he is.
What's Kiddo's name so we can say bye to him as well?
Hey, say your name. Tell me your name. Oh, come on. His name's Colt.
Xander, Colt, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for hyping up Dragonspine. I definitely need to check out Amaze Maze. I think it's like the fourth time we've heard of it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming on with us, man. It's been great having you.
It was great. It was fun being on here.
And before we roll that outro, I want to say extra special thank you to all of our Patreons and anyone else who has supported us. If you'd like to support us, you can subscribe by clicking the little link down there. And you can hit like. It is the only thing that makes Jeff smile.
It's true.
If you'd like to become a Patreon, we have links for that in the descriptions below. And Xander, if there's anything that you would like to hype in the descriptions, any upcoming events for the Kingdom or anything like that, we'll put those down in the links below as well.
Not for our Kingdom. I think Burnerlands is having a tournament this coming weekend.
This
on
will
Saturday,
come out in such a way that we can't.
So if you wanna try and watch their videos if they have one, find one.
Oh yeah, there you go.
By the time this comes out, the event should have happened. We'll try to post a link to those videos in the description below.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
sounds good.
Thanks, man.
I like this outro.
Yeah. Have a good night.
You too.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. If you liked what you heard, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on YouTube or Spotify to get notified about new episodes. And make sure to follow us on Facebook for announcements and more.